Time to check in on the Tide. Bama's been on the practice field for close to a week now. Welcome into the Voice of College Football. Please like the video and subscribe. We got Stephen M. Smith, touchdown Alabama here as always. And of course, in my own words, is your destination Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right here on YouTube, 6:30 Central. Stephen, what's going on today?
Doing good, Mark. I mean, the guys they got practice off today after the first few days of fall camp that started on Wednesday, July 31st. Went from Wednesday, Thursday. Of course, the guys had Friday off, and then they came back Saturday, Sunday, and they have the day off. So 4 camp practices. We're already through 4 sessions here.
Of course, Kalen DeBoer brought some talent with him from Seattle. Parker Brailsford is one of those, manning the center position, and he's gaining some traction there in camp. Some guys like Tyler Booker saying some positive things about his contributions thus far.
He's been great. I mean, he understanding DeBoer's system, understanding what Nick Sheridan wants to do in terms of the blocking scheme, whether it's pass pro, run blocking, pointing out the linebackers, different blitzes that a defense could present or show. We're talking about a young man that helped Washington to the Joe Moore Award of his past season, helped protect Michael Penix Jr. to a 4,000-plus yard passing season. Of course, Penix is now with the Atlanta Falcons. So Parker Brailsford, not the biggest guy in the world at 6'2", around 280 pounds, but a guy that's very athletic. He's got a lot of power, but despite the size, can get up to the second level of a defense in terms of the run game and take on a linebacker and spring those bags up and down the field. Very good in pass protection. And when you see a guy like a Tyler Booker, who's got all of the Alabama culture in him, receive the knowledge and the information that Parker Brailsford brings in from Washington, from Kalen DeBoer, it's special watching that. And this young man has fit in nicely with this team at center.
It's awfully early, difficult to assess things completely at this point. But of course, offensive line was your first and foremost focus here. Is there anything else to point out, either something you picked up early or expect to see here in the next couple of weeks?
Well, right now, with where the offensive line is, Mark, your 3 interior guys are set. When you look at the center guard tandem of Tyler Booker, left guard, Parker Brailsford, center, Jaden Roberts, right guard, those 3 are set in terms of your first team linemen. What Kalen DeBoer and Coach Chris Kaplovich, offensive line coach, has been doing is they've been mixing and matching at both tackle spots. Caden Proctor, who was at Alabama as a freshman last season, made the All-SEC freshman team, transferred briefly to Iowa when Nick Saban announced his retirement from coaching the Crimson Tide. Of course, Proctor came back to Alabama in the summer. He's had to earn the respect of the team back, and he's been fully bought into the Kalen DeBoer style of doing things. Proctor has also dropped weight, so he's cut body fat. He took some reps there, first team left tackle on Sunday, but there's been an interesting competition as Alabama is repping Proctor, Wilkin Formby, and Elijah Pritchett at both tackle spots, trying to get the best combination of 5 there on the field. So right now, though your 3 interior guys are set, your 2 tackle spots, there's been competition there.
Of course, this Alabama team's already been through 15 sessions under Kalen DeBoer in the spring, so they got to undergo that transition and see how that looks different than what Nick Saban and how he conducted practices. Has there anything been said by the Alabama veterans in comparing the Nick Saban-led camps versus what Kalen DeBoer brings?
It's some differences there, Mark. The number one thing is the music being played. Nick Saban was not a fan of the tunes in practice. He was more so that natural practice sound. Football being thrown in the wind, pads popping, guys barking at each other. That was Nick Saban for 17 years. As for Kalen DeBoer, you walk out there and you see a guy with a boom box and an aux cord playing country music or playing rap music or playing different genres of music out there. That's definitely different. Number 2, Coach Saban usually would have practice during the heat of the day. When you talk 3 p.m., 3:30, 3:45, King and DeBoer, no. You're getting your tail up at 9 o'clock in the morning, 9:15, 9:30, and you're out there early on the practice field getting that work in. So that's a different right there. And then number three, Nick Saban mainly stayed with the defensive back unit. He was the de facto cornerbacks coach so he stayed with that unit. Kangan DeBoer walks around. He'll be with the quarterbacks. That he'll walk around and lead and help the running backs through their drills and protecting the football, not fumbling the ball. Coach DeBoer will walk over to wide receivers. He'll walk over to tight ends. He'll walk over to defense. He'll walk around. Saban was more so planted in one spot. DeBoer will walk around. Saban had his legendary straw hat. DeBoer has an Alabama cap on his head. So there are some differences between the two starting off in these fall camps.
Hey, staying with the offense, Stephen, Jalen Milroe's development, what do you think are the main points there to add to his great running ability? And then, of course, everybody knows about the deep ball.
He has cleaned up, Mark, the short to intermediate game. I've seen him the last 4 practices. He is throwing some ropes to either side of the boundary, putting the ball in great spots in those 10 to 15-yard passes, whether it be the short in routes, the quick out routes, the drag routes across the middle of the field, the option routes. He is laying the ball in very well. He has picked up that part there of his game, and he's even now executing more of the zone reads. We're seeing those in practice where he's keeping the football or whether he's riding that ball into the running back's chest and allowing the running back to get up and down the field, on those zone read keeps there. So he has improved greatly the short to intermediate game, and he's even gotten more comfortable with that zone read that Kangan DeBoer and Nick Sheridan, they want to run more of.
Where are we on the defensive side in regards to hot spots for competition?
Well, right now in the outside linebacker room, of course, you lose Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell to the National Football League. But the two guys that have stepped up at the 2 edge rusher spots, Quandarius Robinson and Keanu Coote, those two have big pass rush, edge bending, twitch ability to affect the quarterback. Yancey Pierre, a former 5-star from Eufaula High School in Alabama, the cousin of Courtney Upshaw, he has really started to turn a corner. And then you got 2 young guys, Noah Carter and Jayshun Ross, who are growing. But Kangan DeBoer on Sunday was very impressed with the defensive line. He said the line got after guys Sunday. And you got guys that can bring pressure, whether it's Keon Keeley, the former 5-star in the 2023 class, who is a concrete defensive end now. Then you have Jordan Renaud, Edric Hill, guys like Tim Keenan, Tim Smith, Jamarian Latham, Jaheim Otis. Those guys, the leaders of that defense, they are really showing not only the leadership traits, but the ability to stop the run, affect the quarterback also. You got James Smith, who's starting to come on more, a former 5-star from Carver High School in Montgomery, Alabama. Bama's got at least 12 guys on this defensive line. It can rotate across the board. They're 3 deep at end, at tackle, everywhere. So the defensive line, Kangan DeBoer has been really happy about this group. He's called it the most consistent unit through 4 practices.